Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Labyrinth, Refrain, Coven of Dusk. So, we've been doing reports for about 2 sessions so far, and we got more to go. At this point, we're supposed to have 2 items, both of which we've already collected, because we've kind of explored everything we can possibly explore at this point. The only thing we could possibly do at this point is there is one optional boss we could fight, and technically we do have the capabilities to fight it as far as bypassing immunity, but I don't think we're ready to take that particular boss on. Actually, there's 2 mini-bosses. There's 2 optional bosses we can take on. Obviously, I showed off the other one, which was Grand Duchess Furfur. Anyway, so apparently collecting some items to potentially try to get the key that Madam Dronya hid away. A lot's been happening. The puppet play is over. We kind of got the conclusion of that, and Madam Baba Yaga is dead, though Luca does not know this. Mei Li is dead because she got framed, and then she accused everything of witchcraft, and then fled and got taken by one of the unnamed ones, or whatever they're called. And yeah, a lot of stuff has been happening. So we'll go ahead and do the witch report.
Good. Everything is prepared for the ritual. Trakti, take this.
Dronya uses her knife to cut a strand of her hair and slips it between Trakti's pages. Oh, speaking of Trakti, we got burned alive or whatever, or burned on live. But we got brought back. But while we were away, we got to speak to whatever that weird disembodied voice was that also knows that our name is Trakti.
I've placed a special spell within you. Now you can access a space that you couldn't visit before.
Trakti can now visit the mental realm of Rosa Tempest, dispatched from the Well of Kalaza to access it.
I've hidden the key in the deepest recesses of that space.
What do you mean by space?
Baba would have found the key if I had held on to it. So I decided to hide it in the depths of my mind instead. In the same way Luca used that artifact to access my dreams, I was able to connect my mind to a labyrinth realm. The key is a unique magical object that does not require a solid physical form to maintain its existence. That's why I was able to hide it in this mental space, cut off from reality.
This is absurd. How did you even get that key anyway?
I don't know. Now, Trakti, listen carefully. Since you'll be in a realm that is linked to my mind, you'll have access to my memories.
So is this a different key? There was some confusion because she mentioned that the other key was taken, which is quite possibly when Trakti was stolen and burned. We couldn't find the original key that we collected a while back that that Baba Yaga took because we couldn't find it. So I guess this is a third key that she apparently always had.
It's possible that any memories you witness will also be witnessed by anyone standing close to me.
I understand. We'll all wait outside. We won't look at your memories. We won't.
If you want to look at them, go ahead. I don't care anymore.
Huh?
I have no right to stop you from looking at them while I'm asleep. Unless I kill you both, that is. But, Luca, if you're really going to look, brace yourself, because these are not pleasant memories.
I'll be okay. Really. It's just your past, Madam Dronya. I'll be fine.
All right. It's up to you now, Trakti. You must reach the end of the mental space. If you encounter my memories along the way, just deal with them and keep moving. You can decide for yourself whether you want to see them or not. Now hurry!
Pretty sure you have to look at them. You can now travel to the mental realm of Rosa Tempest. Find the key that Madame Dronya hid deep within her memories. Alright, so new location, but we got some witch petitions. New facet. Demon Reaper specializes in wielding custom scythes to defeat groups of enemies. Though powerful, its defense is quite low. So now we have the final class that we were missing. Also, we have DP, Donum Anklets, Witch Robes. We can create a 3-slot attacker soul pack now. So if we need more of them for whatever reason, we can. Which one does it make, though? I'm a little curious. Which one does this one make? Also, we have Umbra Spoils, which are a bit expensive. But I think everything else is fine. Alright. So you know what? I'll buy this just to see what it is. You obtained the Mystery Pact. And then we'll get the spoils list. Yep. Alright, so this is the Mysterious Pact. It's just a 3-slot attackers. No sub-slots. So nothing special there. And it has no donums. So essentially it's just a 3-slotter. With no benefits and no requirements. So it's pretty, well, standard. Alright, good news is we're done with some of the plots. Now granted, the dungeon we're going to is going to have bits of plot throughout it that we're going to be going through. And as you can see, we have the Amadius Necropolis here, but this place is actually where we're supposed to go to next. Both have the same minimum rank, it looks like. A complicated labyrinth made all the more complicated by the witch's memories impeding your progress. What's interesting about this place is I think there is no exit beyond finishing the dungeon. So have fun with that. There's also another quality about this place, which we'll find out in just a moment. So you can see this place looks kind of familiar to that one space that we were in when we initially were put into the Tractatus Demonstrum. Won't open. Places to jump across. So you might have heard the ding of something spotting us, but we can't actually see our opponents. Very much like the very beginning, where we actually couldn't see our enemies. We're essentially now in a new tier where we can't see the enemies again. So we have to essentially get another upgrade. Echo Caterpillar expands to store surrounding noise, also functions as a hearing aid. Silver Spoon.
Ready to engage.
Toxic Numblebee.
I don't play nice with others. We'll do it together. Here we go! Oh yeah!
Ah!
No problem! Well,
I know there's still the new poppet that I haven't really shown yet. It's interesting because its primary weapon is the scythe, which of course is it uses both hands and your feet to actually use. These cards are breakable.
Ready to engage.
this is a fun.
So this is going to be a little annoying because we can't spot them, so we can't exactly ambush them.
Let's just stop.
Go, go! Here I come.
Some of these enemies here are actually kind of dangerous.
We win. Time to fight. I don't play nice.
But as far as traits for the scythe class, I think they well, one of their primary abilities is as they lose limbs from gore hits, all their stats increase. I think either all their stats or just attack. But in any case, essentially, in most cases, if you lose a limb, you can't use the scythe anymore. So that's part of the reason why you get stat increases for it. The memory flows into you.
Velmia, let's run away together.
Huh?
Someplace where we're not beholden to anyone. Where we can be free.
Yeah, right. Do you really think we can run away from Baba? She'll find us and kill us, no matter where we go.
No, that's not it. You're not afraid of Baba. You're afraid of freedom.
Huh? And what's that supposed to mean? Did you forget she hacked my leg off?
So originally Velnya had a gimp leg, but apparently at some point her leg actually got completely cut off, and now she's got a prosthetic.
But you are afraid of freedom. You're afraid of the person you'll become once you're free. But freedom means you get to decide for yourself what your responsibilities and obligations are. You're afraid you won't be able to fulfill those obligations, that you'll fail yourself and others too. But most of all, you're afraid of losing me. You can't stand the thought of losing my love.
One of these days, you need to teach me how to be conceited enough to think like that.
My blind optimism is but one of my many charming qualities. Velmia, do you want to go to that staircase over there?
It's on the other side of the cliff. Just stay here. Either way, the view's the same. Besides, we can't jump across. Not with my leg and your condition. It's impossible.
How would you know the view's the same? Have you been over there? How can you say that when you've never been there? Just watch, Velmia. You'll see.
Isara breaks into a full sprint, her hair flapping behind her as she runs toward the edge of the cliff and jumps.
Isara!
She soars through the air, feeling the breeze brush against her outstretched arms, and makes it across to the other side.
Amazing! Come, Velmia! Leap into my arms!
God damn it.
Velnya leaps wildly into the air. She manages to make it across, but only because Isara is there to catch her. For a moment, the two girls just look at each other.
Hey! You didn't really need to jump across. If we're both here, how are we supposed to get back?
Are you serious right now?
When they finish laughing, Isara leans close and whispers into Velnya's ear.
Baba is planning to go far away soon. When she leaves, we can flee through the forest.
What will you do afterward?
I'm conducting secret research that not even Baba knows about. It's very promising. It could potentially heal your leg and my illness.
What?
Then again, this research is half the reason my condition is worsening.
You experience the memory Isara's secrets. The memory gate is open. So I think one of these doors is now open, but I don't know where. I don't want to backtrack for it.
Time to fight.
Truck drops.
Looks there. We'll do it together. Here. Go, go.
So the enemies here are around level 60, which is actually around our level now. with the exception, of course, Alice. So they can potentially be a threat, but we're also pretty
Time to fight.
strong. I mean, we are on our first soul transfer now.
An opening. Go, go.
So everyone has essentially a soul clarity of around 20 plus now, which does affect stats. Obtained Old Woman's Cauldron. So we got a Jousting Pact. Striker, 75% chance for attacker to heal 30% max HP after entering critical state, and then 2 supporter slots. 15% of slotted characters avoid will be applied to attacker, and 15% of slotted attackers defense will be applied. It's not too bad. And then Old Woman's Cauldron. This antique cauldron is actually an antique helmet. My list. And then this thing has Dusk Explosion, Cause of Death, Dawn Shot, and Fog Scythe. Sharply lowers guard rate for 8 rounds. So, cost 100% means you literally sacrifice yourself to reduce guard rate down to, by a ton for 8 rounds. I wonder if that will work against death. Dusk Explosion does Blunt and Flame. Has a chance of startle, I think, and then hits all enemies, and you have to sacrifice one person. Does tons of damage. Dawn Shot is cost 100%, deal a huge amount of blunt damage, has cost 100%, charge 1, which means you kill yourself. Condense Fog into a Scythe and cut through enemies. That's pretty standard. So it's a pretty intense pack, to say the least. So I'm kind of purposely avoiding the mana.
The floor with you.
Witch's Pale Talons.
I know my role.
Sheesh.
But of course.
That was a ton of damage. Love and Courage. I think we have that already. We do. Rotten Apple. It doesn't smell too bad, but it's definitely rotten. Indeed. So the thing that's going to kind of hinder us from like completing this dungeon in one go is of course mana and reinforcements, because we need both. And if you get too much mana, you're eventually going to have to just leave. And since I can't see the enemies, it's not something I would like to pursue, to say the least. Sunflower Belt. So these little eggs here are the ground treasures.
Let's do the most beautiful. You don't need an opening.
I destroyed that thing's hat.
Let's go! I'll go too! Another successful hunt.
Jousting Pact, Battering Ram. And Pink Slip. Already have that.
Let the battle begin.
Which is Pale Talon.
Most beautiful. Oh, here we go. Oh, 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 here we go. Oh, hey.
And dead.
No. We win.
I believe those things can actually hurt you pretty bad if they get an attack off, but right now we're alright. Anyway, there's stuff like all over the place here. Unassuming Incense, which we have already. Should bring us back to that. How are we on? Yeah, I think we're max again. Okay, not quite max, because we're actually leveling up stuff.
1, 2, 3, go!
Roger.
Here we
Prison.
go. After you.
And mana prisons also give tons of mana, so one way or the other, we're gonna
Fought, everyone.
have to set up a mud exit. Because yeah, if you look at the map, like I mentioned before, there is no exit, so there's no antechamber for us to exit out of. So that's something we need to take into consideration. Alright, flower shoes, those are good because they give luck. And we need luck for
Enemies approaching.
obvious reasons.
Here we go. After you.
We need it for the Baba pack at least.
Go.
All right.
Alright, one of them
Well
got an
fought,
action. Good for
everyone.
them. Been mostly ignoring the gear we've been picking up. I mean, there's some of it's stuff we've seen already, so that's why I'm not too concerned. I think we got the next tier of crossbows right now. Alright, looks like we're going a little too far. That's alright.
I'll wipe the floor. The most beautiful.
We're gonna end up backtracking one way or the other,
We'll
so
do it together.
it's fine.
Another successful hunt.
The problem with backtracking is just simply the fact that I can't see the enemy, so I will end up running into something. I'm already at half the mana limit. Memory flows into you.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, please.
Huh? Me?
Could I trouble you for a moment, please?
Who are you?
Oh, I apologize. My Lord Father owns this land and is providing it to Baba Yaga. My name is Medanilla B. Lorja.
What's a lord doing here by himself?
This land has been in my family for generations. We're sworn to support any enterprise which makes use of it. My father speaks highly of the witches under Baba Yaga's tutelage, and I intend to follow in his footsteps. Forgive me. As you can see, I'm ill. Baba Yaga has been supplying me with medicine. Hmm? Oh, your leg.
Madam Baba Yaga is that way.
Oh, no. Actually, today I have come for...
Or should I take you to the guardhouse?
No, no! I have business here. Do you know where I might find the dormitory where Lady Isara Meza Alma resides?
Zara Meza Alma.
What?
Lady Isara. Beautiful. You are simply...
Good day to you. We're in a hurry, so... Let's go, Velnya.
Off in the distance, the young nobleman shouts after the girls, but Velnya and Isra pay him no mind. You experience the memory virgin nobleman. The memory gate is open. So yeah, you get the theme. You have to get all the memories to open the doors that'll lead to the next area. Now we completed one of the circles.
I'll wipe the floor with you. So stand.
Let's go!
together. Go, go! Yeah! We won!
An astronomy tool that shows the apparent positions of the stars in the sky. Celestial globe. 100% crit chance, Giant's Axe, two-handed. Also, Comet Scythe, because, well, we may actually end up using those. Technically, the build I looked up, I would have already had one of those scything puppets at this point.
Nice with
Or at least after the first soul transfer, but since I didn't have access to it, I had to change the order. But the neat thing about scythes is I believe I mentioned this before, but it hits everybody. It's the entire army. Bells only hit the entire row. Crossbows hit the entire row as long as it's a crossbow salvo. Alright, we're gonna go south. But yeah, and also they get Magic Rake. Okay, these things are annoying because they have a lot of HP and they cast spells.
We'll do it together.
Also resistant to physical. And they heal themselves.
Here I come.
Okay, sorry, I misspoke. They're resistant to elements, not
We'll do it together.
they're vulnerable to bashing
We won!
and are regular against slashing. Or maybe they're resistant to piercing. Yeah, whatever.
Alright.
They're annoying because they're durable and they heal themselves.
Here we
They can also
go.
buff themselves and do nasty spells.
An opening.
But one of the things
We won!
the scythes also have is they have a % chance of doing 4 hits, or essentially 4 attacks. And since they attack everybody, that means they attack everybody 4 times.
Time to fight. The most beautiful. After you. We'll do it together.
You might not need a mud exit. Well, we have to exit one way or the other. So we're not gonna get full mana when we exit, because there's no stairs or anything for us to exit out of. Alright, so we got all that. Sea bells. Just standard upgrade. Alright. We're not gonna have any upgrades for a while because we combined a bunch of our legendary gear together.
I'll put you in your place. Roger. After you. We'll do it together.
Let's go!
Here I come.
I'll go!
Victory.
Alright, so just head straight up. We'll be fine.
All right. I know my role. Oh yeah. After you. An opening.
Let's go!
Here I come.
Here! Yeah. Another successful hunt.
Ready to engage.
Looks
We'll do it together.
another
Not too
successful
shabby.
hunt.
All right. Let's do this. I know my
This dungeon also has another gimmick, but we haven't run into it yet.
After you. We'll do it together.
It's kind of interesting.
Victory.
Refined Illusion Sword. Not bad. 324 attack. Buffs strength and dexterity, does illusion and stench, and poison. Rat tail. We have, yeah, we got that before. Mannequin, boom. Alright, and that should be everything. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just get myself into one more fight, which will be a little bit easier said than done, unfortunately, because I can't see where any of the enemies are at. There we go.
Alright.
We'll cash out, and I will...
So stand here. There! We'll do it together. An opening!
And then I'll use a witch bell to get out of here.
We won!
Since we have the shortcuts, we don't really need a mud exit.
Still
Beauty. I feel... Bell.
Still getting stronger.
Okay. And then... 48 of those to go.
Still getting stronger.
Oh.
Still getting level up.
Alright. We do have a few people that are using dual wielding swords at the moment. Kokuma is one of them. Alright, so I'm gonna unequip that. Do an alchemy pot here. Refine illusion sword. Then combine it with that, and that, and that. There we go, 787. Alright. That's a good weapon there. Alright. So, did a little bit of that. I don't think there's any new weapons. Unfortunately, no new petitions yet, so we still can't see the enemies. Let me... I'm gonna save real quick. I wanna go ahead and depart real quick. I'm about to wrap up the video, but I do want to head to the next floor and see if I can use that to trigger additional content. Also, apparently I missed a spot.
I'll wipe the floor with you. This is a fun...
Let's go.
An open up!
I'm not gonna cash it. I'm not gonna...
Go!
I'm not going to gamble. I'm
We
just gonna
won!
take the experience. So,
I'll wipe the floor with you. Here we go!
there's a spot I didn't move to apparently, so for one I'm gonna fill in that because it bothers me when I don't.
Go, go! But of course.
Still getting stronger.
Yeah, there's a hole just right there in the middle that I didn't fill in. Bug cookie. The nutritious treat has delicious insects baked into it.
1, 2, 3, go!
I know my rope. Oh, yeah.
Let's go! Ha!
I think the reason why we didn't fill in that spot was because I was trying to avoid an enemy fight. There you go. Okay, now we can just head straight down. Steel Lotus.
Enemies approaching. So stand. Yeah! After you! I think I got him! There!
Ha!
Congratulations, you got an attack off.
But of course.
Let the battle. Aha! There!
They block. Here we go. After you.
Ah!
Yeah. Dash.
Yeah!
Yep, and they can guard,
After you.
which just
We'll
makes
do it
everything
together.
more annoying.
We won.
Thankfully, our attack bar is pretty solid. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'll do a mode exit, and then pop a bell.
How'd I get so strong?
Okay. Carson is almost level 99. Everyone else has still got a while. They're in the back row, so they're getting experience a lot slower. And let me purchase a matter which one I use. Alright, so this is Demon Reaper. The results of an experiment to create a puppet soldier that could fight most effectively with a sight due to her fragile defenses or actual combat preferences is yet to be seen. And that's their lewd appearance. And I think they're female only. Yep, they're female only. So you compare to... So strength, and they have higher agility and strength. Then they have similar strength to a Gothic Capelia. They have higher agility. They have the agility of a Shinabushi. Dex is average. Charm is alright, mainly because they don't want to be attacked. They have poor resistances to pretty much everything. But they have S rank and Scythe, but they're actually pretty decent at pretty much everything but hammers and guitars. And they generally get high agility because they need the attack first, so they can kill everything before they get killed themselves. As you can see, they favor strength, agility, and dexterity for obvious reasons. And then they have increased attack by missing puppet parts ×1. And then Scythe Dancer has 12% chance to attack enemy group 4 times, which is pretty... I mean, that's essentially a 1 in 10, which is not too shabby. And if you have an entire three-person coven attacking against Demon Reapers, you can shred armies pretty quickly. Anyway, just wanted to show that off. We will be having one eventually. I'm hoping to do another soul transfer before the end of the main game. So, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'll go ahead and call this a video. I am the Depressed Eeyore. This is Labyrinth, Refrain, Covenant of Dusk. See you guys later.